I'm back. Hey guys, you thought it was just a one and done? No, I'm committed. I'm committed because guess what? I have a podcast. I have a podcast. That is so cool. I have a podcast. Hey, I have a gun. Hey, give me all your money. Anyways, okay. So this is so exciting. I love this podcast so much. And you're like, Maddie, you've done one episode. Take a step back. Take a stand. Like, relax. And you know what I have to say to that? I have a podcast. That's so cool to say. It also makes me sound lame because then people are like, oh, what's your podcast? Tell me what it is. And then I tell them and then they listen to me talk about fan fiction and then it gets really embarrassing when they see me again in person. Anyways, moving on. I love this. It's so much fun because when I can't sleep at night and I'm just laying in bed staring at the ceiling and then I have all of these ideas about like topics that interest me, I go into my notes app and I write them down under my note titled podcast, and it's just a bunch of topics that I want to talk about with you guys because I don't know, I don't know why these topics draw me to them. Maybe it's some kind of mental block, I don't know, but you know those like 3 a.m. thoughts, like I get to discuss those with you guys. And one of my 3 a.m. thoughts last night actually was about okay, so I work in the mornings, right? And it like haunts me. It's genuinely so haunting. I walked in to one of my classes after work and there were 2 girls behind me and the doors opened and they were like, wow, it smells like coffee. There was no coffee located in the building. There was no coffee within a 6-foot radius of us. Guys, it was me. That, sometimes I think about that and then I immediately want to die. Anyways, next, moving on. I don't know why I love this so much. I think it's just because, like, I love hearing myself talk. Hey, I'm a narcissist. I'm always going to talk, and I'm going to say everything in my mind. Like, anything that comes to my mind, it's going to come out loud. Whether it's a song, whether it's a bit, whether it's an impression that is going to be really bad. It's going to be a really bad impression. And I love it. It's so much fun. When someone says a word that is, like, the same, like it's just, like, a song lyric, I'm going to sing that song. I'm going to be like, hey, that's a good song. They're going to be like, what are you talking about? And I'll be like, you know what? You don't get me. You do not get me. And I also think talking to a podcast like this, it kind of gives me like a sense of, I don't think anonymity is the right word because my name is attached to this and this is going on like public spaces, but it feels like I'm talking about some of these things on my mind and God, I don't know how to phrase it. Like, sometimes I don't want to say these things to people's faces because I fear it will bore them. And so being able to record it in a podcast and post it for my friends to, like, listen to if they want to, like, it's great because then if they enjoyed what I talked about, they can, like, text me, message me, and be like, hey, this was really interesting. Like, let's talk about it. And if they found it boring, they can literally just skip past it. So I don't have this fear that I'm annoying somebody. So anonymity isn't the word. I don't know what the word is. I don't know what I could use to describe it. Anyways, speaking of my friends, I love my friends. And let's just talk about love in general. I love love. But I don't know if I would consider myself a romantic because a lot of the cheesy stuff, like, it makes me sick to my stomach. I think it's really, really cute, but, like, when it happens to me, like, how do I react? And it also doesn't happen to me often. Let's put that out there. But I love love. I think I'm so full of love. And I think I'm so full of love. I don't give out my love easily, though. Like, I feel like I can't immediately trust somebody. You know, you kind of have to earn it in a way. I'm not someone who's like, oh, they're a good person until they prove me wrong. I'm kind of like, oh, everyone's kind of a bad person until they prove themselves to me, which is a really negative outlook on life, and I know that, but that's just how I am. I don't know why. I don't know what it's because of. This is like something that I should talk to a therapist about, but I am not gonna do that. So yeah, why would I? But I think like love consumes so much of my life because I have an extreme love for music and music artists and celebrities and a love for nature, for the trees. Like earlier today I was walking on campus and it was just so beautiful, and being able to like take it all in and just like kind of stand outside and just breathe air, and like seeing the leaves fall with the wind, and they're ever changing, you know, there's like yellow and green and red, and like it's so beautiful and gorgeous, and I love that. And I love the moon, and I love reading, and I love strawberries. Like, love exists everywhere, and I love people, and I love my friends, and I love my family, and I just like, I love my friends so much. My friends are visiting this weekend to celebrate my birthday, and I am so excited. I've been looking forward to seeing them. We all kind of go to different colleges, and we're kind of like, so it's kind of like distant friendships, but I've known some of these people since I was in kindergarten. I've known some of these people for over half of my life, and that is so beautiful that we have stayed so close. And like, we don't talk every single day, but we'll meet up with each other, you know, over the holidays, and it's just such a fun time. And like, I consider them family, you know, like I would drop anything for them. If any of one of them needed me and they texted me, if I'm in class, I'll leave and I'll drive up to see them. Like, I love my friends so much. And going back to like romantic love, I don't think I believe in soulmates in the sense of like romantic soulmates. I don't think there's one person you're made for, especially with billions and billions of people on this earth. I really don't think you can only be made for one person. I think certain people are going to come into your life at certain times, and they're there for a reason. But at the same time, I don't really believe in fate. Because, this is disgusting, but I'm going to say this. In The Matrix, the main character is like, he's like, no, I don't believe in fate because I don't like the idea that I can't choose. You know, I have no choice. And that resonated with me, though, because it's true. Like, I don't want to believe that no matter what I do with my life, there's always going to be some, like, the outcome is stagnant. Like, I hate that. That is a horrible idea to me. And so I think soulmates exist in the sense of platonic soulmates, and I think my friends are all of my platonic soulmates. I think we were meant to find each other, and like, I don't know, I just love them so much, guys. I love my friends so much. Like, they're so, without them, I don't know where I would be. I don't know who I would be, because your friends shape who you are. Your friends shape your morals and your humor and your emotions, and they're just such a crucial part of your development. And having known these people for like, from being so young, like, oh my God, I just appreciate them. And if you guys are actually listening to this podcast, I'm getting emotional. Shut up. I'm not crying. Shut up. Don't talk about it. Give me a second. If you guys are listening to this podcast, I love you a lot. And I appreciate everything you do. And I know I don't say it often because I am not really a sappy person, but I love you guys so much. And thank you for sticking with me through everything. Okay, we need to move on because I can't do this. Anyways, I'm going to talk about fanfiction because I need to stop. We need to stop. Let's talk about why men don't understand fanfiction. I know I've talked to quite a few men, and I've seen men on the internet that are like so confused by the idea of women reading smut. If you don't know what smut is, basically written porn. They don't get it because they have porn. The porn industry and porn itself is made for men. And sorry, hold on. This just popped into my mind. Going back to The Matrix. Did you know The Matrix was like just the entire movie was just like a symbol of being transgender? That is so cool. Like, once you have that lens, going back and watching that movie, like, you can, like, it's a really cool thing. If you guys have ever seen The Matrix or you've never seen The Matrix, I want you to go watch it. I want you to go rewatch it with this idea that, like, the entire thing is, because the sisters that created the film, oh God, why can I not think of their, wait, why can't I think of their name? I know who they are. I think it's Lily and Lana, but I cannot remember their last name. It starts with a T ? Wait, guys, stop. I feel like an asshole. Anyways, they created this movie, and their whole thing was like, yeah, it's just the entire thing is a symbol for being transgender and for not representing yourself in the way you want to. And at the time that they created this movie, they hadn't come out. The Wachowski, am I saying their name right? I hope it's Wachowski. The Wachowski siblings. But yeah, so The Matrix came out in 1999, and I think they later came out like, yeah, Lana, I don't know, I'm sorry, came out in 2012, and Lily came out in 2016. And so at the time that this was released, this was like a really big thing for them, and it was just so personal, and like it's just a beautiful thing, because they were like, we weren't ready, and honestly the world wasn't ready for it. So yeah, sorry, what was I talking about? Fanfiction, right. So yeah, no, okay, the porn industry is made for men. It's made from the male gaze, it's made for male pleasure. And like, even if you're like, oh, gay porn, Maddie, like lesbian porn, hey, made for men. It's made for the male gaze. Like, it's so infuriating, because that's how the world is. A lot of the systems and a lot of the industries that have been created were created by men or for men's entertainment. And like, that sucks. That sucks. When it's like, it's so crazy to me that like modern day people will win like any of the EGOT awards, you know, like, what is it? Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, EGOT, Tony, or just like an MTV award, like a VMA, or like something like that, okay? And it's like, first woman to win this category. It is 2023. That is like so fucking insane to me, dude, that like we still don't, I mean, it's getting better, obviously. You know, we're getting these huge female directors, like, oh God, is it Sofia Coppola? And she just did, Hello, Priscilla, thank you. And like Greta Gerwig, like it's happening, you know? And obviously like these male directors and these male filmmakers, like, yeah, they are iconic for reasons. And I don't know. It just kind of bothers me that like the whole society is run by men, because this is a man's world. But it would be nothing without a woman or a girl, you know? You know what I mean? Great song. So, you know, they did that song on Glee. That's also something I will always say. If a song is playing, in public and they did it on Glee, I will for sure tell you. I don't care if you've seen Glee or not. I'm going to tell you, hey, Santana and blank sang this. Hey, I almost said Archie. Hey, Artie did this. Hey, this is the song that Artie did when he rolled into the pool. Crazy scene. Hold on. Sorry. That's really funny to me. Anyways. Yeah, that's just what I'll say on that. We don't really need to get into the entire creation and like because God, it's just, you have to, if you really break down the systems of specifically America, because I can't really speak about the systems of any other country because I don't know about them. I haven't lived through them. But if you break down the systems in America, you really have to take like an intersectional approach, because it's a whole feminist issue. It's a whole race issue. It's a whole like age issue. Obviously, it's a money issue. God, money equals power in this world. And it's so sick. It is so sickening. And you know what I hate? That like money equals power, but also age equals power. Like, that does not make any sense to me. People use wisdom and experience as synonyms. They use them they interchangeably use them, and is interchangeably, that sounds wrong. I don't know. They switch between them as if they're synonymous, but they're not. I think with age you gain experience. I don't think with age you gain wisdom, because some of the wisest people I've ever met, and that might sound really naive because I'm young, but some of the wisest people I think I have met in my life are young people, because they have this different outlook on life. And it might be a generational thing. It might be a political thing. Like, it doesn't even matter to me. Like, wisdom does not come with age. I mean, take a look at the people that are in office. Take a look at the people that are claiming that basic human rights are a political stance. That is absolutely insane to me. That is crazy to me. I can't talk about that right now because that really frustrates me. But let's go back with like wisdom and age. I think that is a really, really horrific thing to believe, and it honestly really blinds you, and it creates this sort of bias to where you are, to your core, ageist. You know, young people, you're like, oh, are you an intern? Or like when you see like young CEOs or young, celebrities, you're like, oh, are you a nepo baby? Oh, did you grow up rich? As if like young people can't like make themselves. Like young people don't have what it takes in the same way that old people do. And I think that's horrible. What do I think? That reminds me of Fleabag. God, I fucking hate that scene though. I hate that scene. I hate that scene. I hate that scene. I hate that. That's the only time where I hate the priest. Where she like pours her heart and soul out to him, and she's like, I want someone to tell me what to think, what to wear, like what to eat. And then he makes it sexual. Like, fuck. I hate that scene. Anyways, here's what I think. I think it's really naive of adults to believe that what they say to kids or around kids doesn't matter or doesn't have an effect, because children are so perceptive, receptive, malleable. Like, they're growing and their brains are still forming and maturing, and children are going to emulate like whatever's around them. They're going to repeat the behavior and the words that they hear and see. And so for adults to be like, oh, they don't understand this yet, so we can talk about this. No, you can't. No, you can't. Because to their core, to a standard, like, it's going to change them. It's going to change them. And I'll give a personal example of this. Money. I won't give you specifics, but growing up, my parents talked a lot about money with each other. And it was never like a problem, I was always lucky enough to have food on the table and never have to worry about like coming home when the heat was off or the air was off, and we always had lights. Like, we grew up very comfortable. At least I grew up very comfortable. But to this day, I still have like a really weird relationship with money, in the sense that I really don't ever want to spend it, and I always feel guilty spending it. Like, for the longest time, I've always saved my money, and adults will ask me and be like, wow, like, how do you do that? Did your parents teach you about like personal finance at a young age? And I was like, no, I like don't know why. And I think it's because like it was such a commonly like occurring topic in the household. And it wasn't like my parents were like, hey, you need to get a job so you can start paying bills. Like, it wasn't anything like that. Again, I was very lucky and very fortunate. But like, I'll like go grocery shopping, and this is like, it's food that I need to survive. I need to eat to survive. And I'll buy my groceries and I'll be like, fuck, I just spent so much money on something that is so useless. It's food. It's like, but I have a lot of money guilt, so I don't buy myself a lot of stuff either. And for like Christmas or holidays or birthdays or like anything like that, my family will be like, hey, what do you want? And I like don't have a list. I'm like, I'll just take like cash. I'll take money, like whatever you would spend on a gift, just give it to me. Like, I'll take a $20 bill, so I can save it. And I claim that it's because I'm like super picky about my gifts. I'm not. I don't really think I am. I think any gift is so, it's such a gesture of love. I think one of my big love languages is definitely gift giving. And so like, I'm happy with literally anything. You could, buy a mug from Walmart and it's like a stupid, ugly, like, don't talk to me before I've had my morning coffee mug. And you know what? I'd love it. I'd love it. I'd find it funny coming from the right person. But I just have like insane money guilt. And I think adults really need to realize what they say around kids matters. Even though kids aren't old enough to really understand the complexity of some of the situations that you discuss, it is still going to impact them, and it's going to impact their lives, even at a subconscious level. If you believe in the subconscious, isn't that like a whole psychological debate that like the subconscious doesn't exist? Or am I crazy? I took like 2 psychology classes, guys. I feel like I'm always watching what I say around kids. And that's also, I think, another part of the reason why I don't like kids and I don't like to be around kids, because I'm always nervous that what I'm going to say is going to affect them. And I don't want that. I don't want that weight on me. I don't know how people are parents. I don't know how you can raise a child and not be in a constant state of like anxiety, like extreme, intense, soul crushing, body crushing, elephant sitting on your chest anxiety. Being a parent is crazy. Shout out to all the parents, all the good parents. I think there are some people in this world that genuinely shouldn't have become parents, or shouldn't have had kids, or don't really deserve kids. Because I think kids is like, having a child is in a way a blessing. Even though personally I don't want one, I think it's a very, biologically speaking, I mean, it's like crazy that one sperm got through and fertilized that one egg. Like, that's, you know, to a science, it's rare and it's crazy. And so that's also why I don't believe in fate, because how is it fate that there's a baby born and raised in a house full of hate versus a house that could have been full of love? I don't. That's too philosophical for today. Let's move on to something really cool. Space. I love space. I love space so much. And sometimes people ask me, they're like, hey, if you love astronomy so much, why don't you major in it? Why don't you like do something with... No. All astronomy is math and physics and science. Math and science, specifically physics. That sounds like hell to me. I hate physics. I think it's so boring. I don't understand it. I understand like the general concepts, but like when you start applying equations to it, no, I'm gone. I'm out. Vectors are like arguably one of the simplest, most beginning stages of, like, one of the most elementary levels of physics is when you talk about vectors. That is so stupid. A block sliding down a ramp and you have to think about the vector of like the gravity pulling up and gravity pulling down, friction pulling back. Something is pulling up. Fuck if I know, but it's so stupid. Like, I don't care. What was I talking about? Space is epic. Space, I feel like I've always had like a curiosity about space and okay, first of all, if people say aliens don't exist, they're stupid. People say life does not exist out there, they're dumb. Because what do you mean? What do you mean? The universe is fucking massive. The universe is fucking massive. It's huge. It's huge. And how are you going to look me in my eyes and look at a picture of the Earth versus the galaxy and tell me, oh, life doesn't exist? Kill yourself. I don't think it's like a multiverse thing where like there's humans on every planet, like every exoplanet. Like, no, I don't believe that. Like, maybe not all life is intelligent, but there's got to be like some kind of like microbial life, which still counts as alien life. Extraterrestrial, you know, like, oh God, it's so fucking annoying when people are like, you believe in aliens? Yes. Do I think they're like little green bobblehead guys that are gonna come down and like wipe out the human race? No. But life exists out there and you're crazy to think if it doesn't. First, let's talk about two planets. Let's talk about Mars and Venus. Venus, I think, is one of the most interesting planets of our solar system because its atmosphere is so thick that like with optical light and like taking pictures of the planet, you cannot see the surface because the atmosphere is so thick. And the atmosphere is made of carbon dioxide and sulfur dioxide. Why did I say it like that? Sulfur dioxide. And that means that if water exists and it mixes with those, acid rain. That is crazy. And the sulfur gives like the planet like a yellow tint. So you go on the surface and like, I think we have one rover landed and lasted for a little bit. So we got a couple pictures of the surface and it is kind of like yellow tinted, but it's crazy to me because we've had I think it's one rover land, because every other rover that they've tried to send, the pressure so fucking intense, it just, into a little tiny nothing, into a tiny nothing. The pressure is so intense that it just crushes it immediately, or it's so hot that it genuinely just melts away. The surface temperature of Venus is like 850 degrees Fahrenheit. That's crazy. But you know what is even crazier? Life could exist in the clouds of Venus, theoretically. Theoretically, life that could be at a state of like consistent, like constantly floating in this atmosphere, and you know, they can like survive without water and things like that. But an extremophile could exist. Like life could exist in clouds. What the fuck? That's crazy. Mars, the idea that Mars used to have water on it, and now like some astronomers believe that there is like a subsurface ice ocean under parts of Mars. I don't think it's the whole planet. I think it's like just like sections of Mars. Because from imaging of like a hillside on Mars, there's like these like dark lines, like slope lineae that occur, and they change and they shift and then they go away and then they come back, and they think that that's from the ice. But the thing is the way that Mars is, like the way its atmosphere is, the way the temperature is, the way the, you know, pressure and gravity is, liquid doesn't exist on the planet anymore. It goes from straight solid to gas. And I think that's called, I think it's called sublimation. But like water just like sublimates away. So like, but it's crazy. That's crazy to think of. That is crazy to think of. That is insane. Okay. What else? Moons? Oh, moons are cool. Let's talk about Io. This is a moon of Jupiter, and this is the most geologically active body in our solar system. A moon. You think of the moon, you think of our moon, and it's just a rock. It's just a rock. Also, they think that there's like theories that the moon was actually at one time part of the Earth, and like something as big as Mars just came and collided with the Earth and chunked off the moon. That's crazy. Space is crazy. The creation of the universe is crazy. And it's even crazier that like every single chance bit that happened to get to where we are now as humans, as higher beings, as like intelligent life forms, that is fucking wild. Also a beautiful idea that we're made of stardust. That's cool. Sorry, going back to Io. Yeah. And it's really fucking hot. But you know what is crazier? You know what's crazier? It's super hot, but it's nowhere near the sun. Jupiter is past the frost line. It's not in the habitable zone. And the habitable zone is like the zone in the solar system where liquid water could exist. It's not too hot. It's not too cold. And like Earth is in that, obviously, because we have liquid water. No fucking shit. Stop. Why am I mansplaining astronomy? Shut the fuck up. Silent yourself. You know, silence yourself. But Io is hot and volcanically active because of friction. And you're like, how the fuck is there friction happening on a moon? Well, I'm glad that you asked. I'm glad that you asked me. The moons of Jupiter are constantly being pulled and stretched because of the way that they orbit around Jupiter. It's not like a perfect circle. It's kind of like an oval. So like they get, you know, so it's like friction heating. That is fucking crazy. That is fucking crazy, dude. Gravity can make something volcanically active? Okay, moving on to another moon, Enceladus. This is a moon of Saturn. I think she's so cute. Is she the coolest moon? The coolest moon of Saturn? I don't know. I can't say that. But I think it's really cute because Enceladus orbits within the E ring of Saturn. And people believe that Enceladus is making its own ring. Like it isn't a moon that like fell into orbit within a ring, but like it is orbiting and it's creating its own ring because it has these like what are they called? Subsurface. Hold on, I wrote this down. Cryovolcanism. That's what it's called. Cryovolcanism, and it's expelling like salty water vapor basically, and they think that it's making its own ring. Isn't that the cutest? Can you imagine like little, like Enceladus is so baby girl. Think about it. She's just like rotating around, making her own ring. Like, ugh. She's a girl boss. I hate that I said that. Please forget that I said that. Anyways, you know what else is crazy? Every single star that you see in the night sky probably has at least one planet, minimum. Minimum. So now, look me in my eyes. After hearing that, look at me in my eyes. Tell me that alien life does not exist. I'm waiting. Right, you can't do it. Because first of all, this is pre-recorded, so you genuinely cannot do it. And also, you're wrong. And you're a fucking idiot. You're stupid if you think that. Astronomy, just like as a field, is so crazy with the amount of stuff that we know. Like, the fact that you can find the atmosphere of an exoplanet that is light years away from the transit method is actually insane to me. So basically, like, you just take a bunch of pictures of a star, and once the planet crosses in front of the star, you keep taking pictures. Comparing all of those pictures and all of the data you get, you can figure out what the atmosphere of that exoplanet is with spectroscopy, and seeing like how this, like, the starlight shines through the atmosphere. That's not real. Who the fuck figured that out? God, bitches had to be so bored pre-internet. Cause like, dude, you fucking stare at a star, and just a fucking random star in the night sky for days, years. I was born in the right age, the age of technology, because what would I do without Google? What would I do? What would I do without entertainment? Play with rocks and sticks? God. But you know what? I would have thrived in the Victorian era. Let's go back to having balls at people's houses. Balls. Ballers. I want to go to a ball. No, I don't. Do I? No. Maybe. You guys know any balls? Do you guys know any balls? Invite me to the balls. I'm sorry. Ba-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la. What is that one song by Katy Perry about basketball? Why did she make that? What is the meaning of swish, swish, bish? Why did she make this? This is camp. Oh, swish, swish is liberation from bullies. What? It's an anthem against those trying to hold you down or bully you. What the fuck? And I'm a courtside killer queen, and you will kiss the ring, you best believe. Okay. Swish, swish, bish. Another one in the basket. Can't touch this. Another one in the casket. Okay, she ate. Okay, I fear that she kind of ate that one up. Sorry I ever doubted you, Katie. How did we get here? Where did we come from? And where did we go? And where did you come from? Cotton Eye Joe. Stop. We're done. This is the end of the second episode. Oh, guys, exciting news. We've been approved by Spotify. So now you can listen on the go when you're driving and cooking and cleaning. And if you just want to hear my voice because it's really calming and soothing. Yeah, okay, that concludes the second episode of Listen to Me by me. I need a Nicole Kidman intro for this. Because we do come here to laugh and we do come here to cry. Yeah. Get a snack, get some soda, get some popcorn, take a seat, and listen. Except now you don't need to take a seat because we're on Spotify. That's so exciting. Okay. I'm just rambling on and on and on and on. Don't want to grow up. I want to watch Freaky Friday. Wait. Where is it streaming? I think it's on Disney Plus. Yes! Okay, I'm watching that tonight. Okay, guys. Okay, you guys need to, first of all, appreciate your friends. Think about what you say to kids. Watch Freaky Friday. Watch The Matrix. Think about space. Think about how, I want every single person to start spiraling after this episode. Think about how insignificant the earth is, and then think about how much you love your friends and your family. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know your story. Okay. Love you. See you in the next episode. Bye.